I've been sitting here for a while trying to figure out what I'm even going to say here, how I'm going to say it, how to try and make sense out of any of this. I think that's impossible at this point. I found out yesterday in a phone call, just like a lot of you did, about Ray's passing, and as much as I knew what he was up against, and I knew it must have been serious because what else would take this man away from Oakland A's baseball on an everyday basis? As much as I could kind of feel how serious this was to actually hear the news and to get the news, it still provides a shock factor that I was not ready for. And I know a lot of you feel the same way too. I'm also doing this because it's just the type of person I am. You could write a lot of things on Twitter and words and pictures mean a lot. I feel like this is the only way to kind of get it out and to kind of share what I really want to share about Ray. 74 years old, gone too soon, in my opinion. But 74 years of literally baseball from start to finish. He'd been doing this with the A's since 1986. I've said it before, and it bears repeating. The longevity he had with the team, the dedication he had to this team and the fans and the players. And for you, the viewers and the listeners at home, I mean, you turn on a game, you're inviting Ray into your house on an everyday basis. And obviously whoever, he was working with. And that's another point too, of all the other names and faces that have broadcast games over the years, from Bill Kings to Glenn Kuipers right now to Ken Koraks, a lot of the longtime names and faces. I mean, Ray since 1986 was the definition of longevity. As much as teams of the A's would change, the front office would change, the players would change, the manager would change, the coaching staff would change. The things about the A's that never changed were the Coliseum, the green and gold, and Ray Fosse. And so I'm trying to put all this together, and I think if I can see any positive in this, it's that he literally got to do what he loved until the very end. And quite honestly, if it were probably up to him, he would have hung in there even longer. It's amazing what he fought and what none of us knew for so long, and how he kept it private. And that's the preference, right? That's what he wanted. He was all about this team. He was all about the players, the game. He never wanted it to be about him or the situation or what he was going through behind the scenes. And so doing something you love until the very end, how many of us will get to say that, that's how we get it? In a way, that's special, and it's fitting for Ray that he got to do it till the end. But at the same token, he didn't kind of get the farewell that a lot of people, and you're seeing it right now, that a lot of people would have loved to give him. Didn't get the opportunity to have one last season and let everybody know about it, or even if he sprung it on us at the end of a year, didn't get the opportunity to see the thoughts and see the perspectives on him flow back to him. He didn't get to witness the gratitude. That's probably what I'm trying to say. The timing of this is so crazy because it was like the second week of October in the mid 2000s when we also lost Bill King. And I mentioned the timing because I I know A's fans are obviously sharing their sentiments on social platforms, and that's the way to get together. But I wish, in a weird way, I wish we could have got to do this celebration during the season and while people were, physically like really together, and have a moment at the Coliseum for Ray. And I also think too that as much as we all got, a slap in the face to hear this news, the realization is truly not going to sink in probably until next year. And I mean, I know we, didn't get to finish this year with Ray, but I just don't think it's sunk in yet. It's going to take, next season and the start of something new without him for us to really realize. Ray was always kind to me, and it always came in a playful and a joking way. The more years I was around, the more I got to know him a little bit better. He's still a very private person, but that's what made the moment special, when you got to get just a little bit more out of him, and then you kind of knew that, you were in a little bit better. And I said it on Twitter last night. The ribbings that he gave me over the years, and I think it was all in good fun, and I think too that was his way of, affection, respect, team atmosphere. That's kind of how baseball is, right? It's too long a season to be serious, completely serious all the time. And so I remember those fondly. And like I said, it's just going to be strange to know that those moments are done. So I hope some of this resonated. I hope some of this made sense. Really hard to put together. I will completely miss seeing him at the ballpark, because he was always there. He was always on the field, didn't hide from anybody, wanted to, talk to the visiting teams and players just as much as the Oakland A's players. And, the one thing you're seeing is everybody's recollection of that big, strong handshake, that catcher's handshake. Literally, my knuckles still hurt thinking about some of those handshakes. And all the Fosseisms, from the wows to how he would idolize pretty much every catcher to ever put on the tools of ignorance. I mean, even opposing teams' catchers, he just loved catchers, and rightfully so. And also, in that fun way I was talking about, anytime we showed a cutaway shot of food in the stands, or, the 2-foot-long hot dog in Arlington, I mean, he would go on and on for several batters about the delicacies of ballparks across the country. Just going to miss all that. So tried to keep it together here as much as possible. And that's how I'm going to end it. We will definitely miss Ray Fosse, a true staple of Oakland A's baseball.